Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm here with my review of episode 2 of season 6 of Game of Thrones, and this episode felt a little off. I can't really explain what it was. It wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, but it felt a little like. It didn't feel like Game of Thronesy. It felt a little weird. It felt like so much happened, yet it still felt a little melodramatic, and I can't really explain it. But, comment below if you guys felt this weird at all, this weird feeling, like it was a little off, but I'm not going to let that distract me, because I don't think it had anything to do with this show. I don't know if it's the situation I'm in right now, I don't know what that is, but could be anything, I don't really know. Who knows? But let's get on with the review. A lot happened this episode, so I'm going to tackle everything in the order I remember it happening, but obviously it's a little rough because I watched the episode a couple hours ago. It's 1:30 a.m., so I watched it from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. when it aired, so it's a little rough, but I think this is the order I remember things happening in, so I'm going to start tackling the episode. So it starts off with, it's a Bran start. Finally, we see Bran for the first time since season 4. So he was not in the last season at all, and he's sort of a little bit more, he's still a little selfish about his powers, but he's still a little bit more advanced in his training with the Three-Eyed Raven. So we get to see our first real weirwood flashback, and it shows the Starks as children, and we see Hodor as a child and his origins, and I think his name was Willis or something. So that was pretty cool. Not much. It's a throwaway kind of thing, like, oh, we saw his backstory a little bit. But the big thing is we finally, for the first time ever, we got to see the almost mythical in the show, Lyanna Stark, in person, although she was a child. It's pretty much the only way we're going to see her is in flashbacks, obviously, because she's dead. But yeah, we finally got to see her, and I don't know if you're getting either R plus L equals J vibes from this, but I sure was getting those vibes. I don't know about you, but I'm just like, they're hinting at something, especially since there's going to be a Tower of Joy flashback sometime this season. It's presumably another werewolf flashback, so we got to see young Ned, we got to see another young Benjen, and especially Lyanna Stark, her first appearance on the show. So that was really cool to see. So obviously we get the current owners of Winterfell with with Ramsay Bolton. This guy, I hate him worse than Joffrey. Like, he's surpassed Joffrey for me. And I also hated Roose Bolton too. Don't get me wrong, but Ramsay I think he surpassed Joffrey for me when he raped Sansa last season. That was when it was like, okay, this guy is the scum of the earth piece of shit, and I hope he dies. He is so sick. He's a fucking asshole. I hate him. But anyway, if you don't know, he murders a true heir, a legitimate heir to Winterfell, to the Bolton family, Fortune Winterfell, and everything was born. So Ramsay but finally knew what he needed to do. He killed his father, and killed and fed his stepmother and baby stepbrother to the dogs while they were still alive. He has officially eradicated anything that would have potentially stopped him from claiming complete control of the Bolton name and complete control over Winterfell. And now Ramsay has complete control of the North. Fuck. If anyone had anyone controlling the North, it was Ramsay. I'd rather have Roose. I'd rather have Roose, honestly. But yeah, that was... I don't like Ramsay. Fuck him. Hate him. But then we got back to King's Landing, and we got some stuff with we see some of the zombie mountain in action. Not much to talk about there. Just we got to see him. So we see that High Sparrow shows up at Marsalla's funeral after everyone left but Jaime, and they have their first real confrontation. It definitely has these vibes. Like, there's definitely both of them clearly hate each other, and I feel like there's definitely be a big Faith Militant versus Lannister battle or war sometime this season. Honestly, they might go to war with the Faith Militant. That would be interesting, but who knows? It's just this tension, this like really tension, and you kind of see this smirk almost in High Sparrow's face when he starts walking away, and it's just like, damn, there's gonna be some conflict there. So what is like? It's really hard to find the true motives of the High Sparrow. Like, is he really a religious person that thinks he's doing the right thing religiously, or is he really just another player in the Game of Thrones that's seeking power through a completely unique means that we haven't seen in the show so far? We're really not sure. We really don't know. But I guess we'll find out probably this season, honestly. So cutting over to the east, we got two big things happen in the east. First of all, Arya passed a big test and was finally allowed to return from the streets. She's not given back her vision yet, but she was allowed to return from the streets back to the House of Black and White to continue her training inside and officially return. Like she's allowed to stay there from now on, to continue to stay there. So a little victory for Arya in this episode. Not much to say about that. I mean, it was just a little victory. And Tyrion, and it kind of like, it was very, I knew nothing was going to happen, so the tension was kind of deflated a little bit. But Tyrion went to the crypts below the palace in Meereen with Varys, and he freed Daenerys' dragons in hopes that this will help solve the conflict or help find Daenerys something good. He hopes that something good will come out of freeing the dragons in one of his most dangerous moves yet, where he goes down there. And a lot of people are like, oh, does this mean that Tyrion is his Targaryen theory is correct? No, I really don't think Tyrion is Targaryen. I feel like that would deflate a lot of the tension of the story. And, deflate a lot of the dramatic narrative of the story. I don't think Tyrion is a Targaryen, but I do think he's right about how dragons are smart and they can sense things. And also, Tyrion doesn't look threatening. Like, if you saw Tyrion walking towards you, no matter how pissed he was, if he didn't have a weapon or anything, Tyrion would not look threatening. And that's just the sad fact of his disability. But, like, the dragons were probably, like, smart enough to be like, okay, this person isn't a threat. But, first they were all nervous, but they were finally, and he freed them. Obviously, they haven't left the building yet, but I guess they're still getting acclimated to the realization that they don't have a chain around their neck and they can actually move. So I feel like once that happens, they'll eventually break through and flee the building. Probably next episode, if there's a marine shot next episode, it's probably going to be that. But coming back to Westeros, we see that the Greyjoys are finally back in the story. They haven't really been back in a while. First we got how am I blanking out on his name? Oh my god, Theon. Theon deciding that he is no longer going to travel with Sansa. Is that what happened? I can't, like, oh my god, I can't actually remember how that arc ended in this episode. Did he decide? I think he decided he was officially going to leave Sansa, and she forgave him. Sort of, it was like this nice emotional closure moment between the two, because he realized, if I go to the Wall, Jon's gonna kill me. He's like, after everything I've done to your family, Jon's going to kill me if I go to the Wall, so I can't go there. And we have this nice emotional parting of ways scene, but that brings us back to another Greyjoy arc. Theon's father, and was killed by his brother. Did they reveal his name in this episode? I can't remember. I think it's Euron. Just from like knowing lore and stuff, I think it's Euron Greyjoy. We see Euron. I'm gonna go with Euron. Comment below if I'm wrong. Euron Greyjoy killed the king of Iron Islands, which was Theon's father, and now there's going to be Theon's sister doesn't immediately take it, even though that was the desire of the king. How it works, the politics of Iron Islands works, is that there is a sort of battle that happens in which the Greyjoys that want to be, it's not like an heir system. It's how anyone in the Greyjoy family that wants to be a king, wants the king's side, they all fight to take that kingship. So whoever wins this battle or this whatever it is, like this game, whatever it is, takes the kingship of the Iron Islands. And I'm not sure how the Iron Islands work. Because they work like Dorne, where they're somewhat sovereign, or or is it just like a lord system? I don't really know, but comment below if you do, because that would be a little bit of helpful information. But finally, we got the pivotal scene of the episode, which I felt was handled very cheesily and a little melodramatic, but what are you gonna do? It hasn't happened in the books yet, so they gotta do their best. But it was a little TVE and cheesy, in which Melisandre pretty much. Well, first of all, the they got the help of the wildlings, and they were able to break through into Castle Black and imprison all of the mutinous Night's Watch members, finally leaving the Jon Snow supporters free to go get Melisandre. And so Davos convinced Melisandre's pretty much lost her faith. She believes that she doesn't have this connection with the Red God anymore after what happened to Stannis. So she feels like completely broken, but he begs her, Davos begs her, pleads with her, and she accepts. And she does the ritual on Jon's body. First, she starts cleaning it, and I'm gonna swear, when she was cleaning the body, I thought that some of the blood was gonna remain, and it was gonna eventually shape into like a Targaryen symbol, like a dragon or something. And I was like, no. I'm like, if like I thought that was what was gonna happen. It was gonna play this dramatic music, but it didn't. And if that would happen, I'd be like, oh my god, it's such a cheese fest. Holy shit. That's like, I feel like that's way too over the top and cheesy and way in your face. Jon Snow's Targaryen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like way. I think, well, if we have a good solid Tower of Joy flashback to reveal that, I think that's when we'll reveal. I don't think that's the way to do it. A second thought was, maybe is Jon gonna warg into Direwolf? He didn't. So Melisandre pretty much believes that she fails. She clearly doesn't have her heart into it. Obviously, she's going to fail. But the Red God's like, hey, I'm going to prove to you that I'm still real, I'm still legit, and I'm going to let your ritual work. And sure enough, who would have thought the episode ends with Jon Snow coming back to life after everyone thought it didn't work? Who would have thought that how it ended? Very melodramatic, deflated tension ending. It kind of was a little disappointing, but what are you going to do? It was what we were going to get anyway, and I think it's really testament that like George R. R. Martin really was disconnected from the show completely now. And this is beyond book territory, but I feel like he's definitely going to get resurrected in the books too, because if he is Azor Ahai, like many theorize, including myself, he has to be resurrected. Yeah, that was the episode. Fell off. I'll see you next week.